Alright, dear students, welcome to a new class with the teacher Vanessa Torres. So, today we are going to talk about the simple present. Alright, do you remember what is the simple present? Okay, so please, we are going to learn about it. Pay attention. We are going to talk about this simple present with a little video. So, please pay attention and we are going to watch this video. Alright. So please, in this case, this video, we are going to watch on the YouTube, all right? I am going to send you this video. So please don't remember. Also, I send you this video and you have to watch before, right? In your house, you have to watch about this simple present and affirmative form, all right? Very good. So now, please, we are going to continue to watch and to remember a little about this simple present in affirmative form. All right. So please, do you remember in this case that we need the subject, the verb, and also we are going to need a complement in affirmative sentences. All right. So remember the subjects are I, you, we, they, he, she, it. Also here we have the verb. All right, in this case, the verb is speak, and we are going to have a complement, okay? But remember, with the third person verbs, we are going to need the final S in affirmative sentences, all right? It's very important, this rule. So here we have some examples. For example, I speak Spanish, or you speak Portuguese. In other example, he speaks French, or maybe she speaks Italian, right? So please pay attention in this part. After that, we are going to continue with the next slide, right? So please, we are going to check what is next, all right? So please remember, okay? So here we have another examples like you play soccer, right? Remember, you are going to need to add the S at the end of the verb. So with the third person, in this case, she plays soccer. All right, remember another rule. When the verbs end in double S, H, CH, or X, we have to add not only the S, but also ES. For example, Miss, we have to add Mrs. Right? Another rule, when the verb ends in a vowel O, we have to add ES to this verb. For example, the verb do, we are going to add does. Right? Also, here we have another important rule. If the verbs end in a Y and before it's a consonant, so please remember, we have to change the Y for an I and then we are going to add ES. For example, the verb fly, we are going to change into flies with the third person. All right, remember this. Now we are going to continue with the simple present but in negative form. All right, so please you can look at this chart. Right? Pay attention on this chart and then you are going to tell me what is the difference between the positive and the negative form. Right, so what you can see. Right, excellent. Okay, so here we have the time to watch, to pay attention what is the difference. And in this case, remember, when you are going to change into the negative, remember we are going to use some auxiliaries. In this case, we can look that the auxiliary is after the subject. For example, the auxiliary do plus not is don't, and the auxiliary does plus not is doesn't. With this auxiliary, we are going to change the positive into negative form, all right? So please look more examples. In the negative form, remember, we have two auxiliaries, do plus not, that we are going to have don't, and we are going to use with the personal pronouns, I, you, we, and they. And also we are going to have here the auxiliary does plus not, that we are going to have doesn't, and we are going to use with he, she, and it. That is the difference about the auxiliaries when we use with the different personal pronouns. So please you have to pay attention in this part. Don't for I, you, we, they, and doesn't for he, she, it. the third person. All right, so here we have more examples, okay? So please, you're going to have time to read, all right? And tell me what is the difference, all right, about this. Remember, we are going to have the subject, the auxiliary, then we are going to have the verb in the normal, in the base form of the infinitive, all right? And then we are going to have the complement. Okay, so here we have some examples. In affirmative, he speaks Spanish. We are going to change into negative. He doesn't speak Spanish. All right, so remember, in the negative form, we are going to use the auxiliary, doesn't in this case, and the verb is in the base form, in the infinitive form. All right, remember, we not are going to add the letter S at the end, as in the affirmative form. Another example, she speaks Italian. She doesn't speak Italian, right? Another one, I need help. I don't need help. Remember, the auxiliary with I is don't. And he needs help. The auxiliary in this case is he doesn't need help, right? So please, you can look and pay attention how we change into the negative form, all right? So here we have more examples. In this case, we have, I don't live in an apartment, right? That is the negative form. Mary doesn't live in Paris, all right? Remember, the auxiliary for Mary is doesn't, because Mary is like she. We don't live in Italy, all right? He doesn't live in a apartment, right? So please remember about this. Okay, so we have the two auxiliaries into the negative, don't and doesn't. All right, so please, we are going to summarize it. Remember, we are going to have the affirmative form. With the third person, we have to add the letter S or the rules that we looked before. Pay attention about this. And in the negative form, we are going to have two auxiliaries. Remember, we have don't with I, you, we, and they, and doesn't that we are going to use with the third person, he, she, and it. All right, that is the difference. Okay, so in this case, we are going to complete these sentences with don't or doesn't. What is the correct one? All right, for number one, I live in a house. I don't live in an apartment. Number two, she doesn't like spiders. Number three, you don't need a dictionary. Number four, we don't have cake for breakfast. Number five, it doesn't rain much in summer. Number six, Susan is a vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat, right? Very good, excellent. Number seven, Jack and Jill very good, don't want to go up the hill. Right, so remember, Jack and Jill is like they, so we're going to use don't. Very good, congratulations, you're very smart. And number eight, Mike lives in New Zealand. He doesn't live in Australia. Very good, excellent, congratulations for all of you. So with this, we are going to finish about this part, the affirmative and negative form about the simple present. So remember, you are going to have homework. You have to do these activities. And then in the next class, we are going to check what are the correct answers. All right. So remember, don't forget to do this activity. And that's all for this class. Thank you for your attention, and we see you in the next class. Goodbye.